Sorry, thank you. Oh, yeah. Do you know how to pull it up on the screen? The CC, that way people can read along. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi, Madhya Lila, chapter 13, text number 6. Oh, where's my husband? Do you, let's see. Let me look at my, do you think you can get me that notebook? I think I left it on the ledge, a notebook. And then people can read along. Thank you, that will tell. So it is verse number 146. Yes, thank you. 2 pairs of cartons. All right. 146. Title. Yeah. 13, the Lord's dancing at Rath Yatra, which we already heard with Madhya Lila. Small crowd today. Okay. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya, Asasata Shishimada's Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajyacharya Asasakta Shri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Prem Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Yamuna Devi Ki Ganga Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Vrindavan Ki Mayapradam Ki Sankirtan Yagya Ki Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Deshatarane. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Gena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So we are reading from every Saturday we read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 13. And first of all, what we're reading about, this is going to be starting with Lord Chaitanya speaking. And so, who is he speaking to? Anybody know? On his tour of South India. You know, anyone remember who he's speaking to? Because they stop, right, during the rainy season, traveling sannyasis, they stop traveling because it's pretty hard to travel in the rain. So here, Lord Chaitanya stayed with Venkata Bhatta. Venkata Bhatta was very, very prominent personality, very influential, and Lord Chaitanya stayed with him. Now, we see that it's incredible hospitality, where one is so happy to have guests stay with them. This is, and they're just extend themselves so much, and what to speak if you had Lord Chaitanya as your guest. It's like pretty ecstatic. So Venkata, he is extremely learned, and he's probably has disciples. His brother is Prabodhananda Saraswati. His son is none other than Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who became a Vaishnava due to Lord Chaitanya's association there. Yeah, but so Venkata, he was, as is prominent in South India. Do you know that there are who was saying maybe in a class I heard recently, there's no Radha Krishna temples in South India. All the prominent temples, those are Lakshmi Narayan temples, and all of the very popular temples, Balaji Temple and Tirupati Temple. That's Vishnu. Vishnu's worshipped. So here's Lord Chaitanya, who is, of course, Radha Krishna combined and a worshiper of Radha Krishna. So he becomes friendly, like, they have many conversations together because they're both very philosophical. So they have conversations, and anyone remember the very pertinent question that Lord Chaitanya asked him? He asked Venkata Bhatta a question. He said, why is it that, who knows? Yeah, go ahead. That's right. She worships. So the question, that's right, Chintamani, he asked, why? You're Lakshmi. You worship Lakshmi Narayan, right? So she's so chaste. She's so devoted to her husband. She's always on the, chest of her husband. Why is it that she worships my Lord Krishna? Why does she do that if she's such a chaste wife? So this was kind of a bewildering question. And so, and anyway, because she performed great austerity because she wanted to take part in that rasa dance in Vrindavan. And for many, many years, and she performed austerity, and still she did not get the chance. She was not granted because service to the Lord, it's by His mercy. No matter what we do, how many austerities that we may perform, still without His mercy, there's no entrance into the pastimes of the Lord. So now, so it's amazing how Venkata Bhatta is answering. That we know there's no difference. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. There's no difference between all of the different forms of the Lord. But there is a difference. So he said, okay, there's no difference. So then why was she performing that austerity to gain entrance into Lord Krishna's pastimes? All right. So now I'll continue with the reading, and I put it on the board so that you can read along, because the Bengali is so beautiful. Srila Prabhupada said people will learn Bengali just so they can read Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali, because naturally in many languages, in translation, much is lost. So now, Lord Chaitanya, he is quoting verses now. And so, so now he's quoting, he continued, this is the gopis. When the gopis, they're already liberated. They don't want liberation. And the gopis, they're never satisfied just by meditating on the Lord. They want to engage in pastimes with Him. So today we're beginning from text 146. And like I say, feel free to read along. Tomara ye anya vesha, anya sangha, anya desha, raja jane kabu nabe. Oh, sorry. Raja jane kabu nahi baya, raja bhumi chadite nare ta. Toma na de kile more, raja jan era ki habe upaya. The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a different country. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence they are all dying. What is their condition to be? Tumi Rajera Jivane Raja Rajera Pranadana Tumi Rajera Sakala Sampat. Doesn't fit. Kripadra Tomara Mana Asijote Raja Jana Raja Udaya Karo Nijapada. I must be saying the wrong meter. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan live Kindly keep your lotus feet in Vrindavan again. So here's, again, these are all verses by Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani did not express her personal unhappiness at being separated from Krishna. She wanted to evoke Krishna's feelings for the condition of all the others in Vrindavan Dham, Mother Yashoda, Maharaj Nanda, the cowherd boys, the gopis, the birds and bees on the bank of the Yamuna, the water of the Yamuna, the trees, the forest, and all the other paraphernalia associated with Krishna before he left Vrindavan for Mathura. These feelings of Srimati Radharani were manifested by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he invited Lord Jagannath Krishna to return to Vrindavan. This is the purport of the Ratha Yatra cars going from Jagannath Puri to the Gundicha temple. Now, after hearing Srimati Radharani's statements, Lord Krishna's love for the inhabitants of Vrindavan was evoked, and his body and mind became very much... Oh, I forgot the Bengali. Maybe these are all double verses. What do you think? Who thinks I should read the Bengali, and who thinks I should not? Who thinks I should? Really? 3. Okay, who thinks I should not? And they don't care. No one else cares. They think we should. Okay, ready? Read along. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Shuni Yeva DK Vasi Raja Prema Mani Ani Bhave Vyakulite Dehama. I did? Okay. 148. That was 148 in my book. I mean, I skipped. So. What? What'd you say? That's 148. So, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya. Raja Lokera Prema Shuni Apak An Ake Rihe Mani Kare Krishna Tanreya Asvasana. After hearing Srimati Radharani's statements, so Lord Krishna's love for the inhabitants of Vrindavan was evoked, and his body and mind became very much perturbed. After hearing of their love for him, he immediately thought himself to be always indebted to the residents of Vrindavan. Then Krishna began to pacify Srimati Radharani as follows. Prana priya shune more e sacha vachana toma sabarasmarane choran muni vachridine mora dekana jane kona jana. My dearest Srimati Radharani, please hear me. I am speaking the truth. I cry day and night simply upon remembering all you inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one knows how unhappy this makes me. It is said, Vrindavananam parichaja padam ekam nagachchati. In one sense, Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, does not even take one step away from Vrindavan. However, in order to take care of various duties, Krishna had to leave Vrindavan. He had to go to Mathura to kill Kamsa, and then he was taken by his father to Dwarka, where he was busy with state affairs and disturbances created by demons. Krishna was away from Vrindavan, and he was not at all happy, as he plainly disclosed to Srimati Radharani. She is the dearmost life and soul of Sri Krishna, and he expressed his mind to her as follows. So, this is, when they're meeting at Kurukshetra. But you think that Krishna was hard-hearted. You know, there's this book by Rupa Goswami, Hangsa Duta, where there's swans. Swans go and bring a message to Krishna in Mathura. And also Lalita Devi writes a letter to him, like, how cold-hearted you are that you left and went to Mathura, said you were coming back in a few days and never came back. And Radharani's on the verge of death and you just left. So Krishna, you think he's that cold-hearted? You think that he wasn't feeling the same, as it says here, he's feeling the great pain of separation, that at nighttime he would wet his pillow with tears, crying, missing the residents of Vrindavan, and missing his mother too, saying, who's gonna, like, fix my peacock feather when it falls off? Who's gonna feed me? And but then he would go to the roof, and Uddhava was there, and so he, there's a whole culture on the rooftops in India, and so he would look, because the Yamuna flows through very, very far, right? Doesn't it flow all the way, like Delhi, all the way far? And he'd just go up on the roof and he'd look. He'd follow the course of the Yamuna, and then he could see, I believe in the east, he could see the trees, that there's Vrindavan, and he would just cry, like so much missing them. So all of this separation, it's mutual. He missed the residents of Vrindavan as much as they missed him. So it's not, and then to be criticized as being cold-hearted and cruel. Okay, so now what happened was, then Krishna's going to respond. All right, and he said, that's 140. Oh, yeah. So he's going to say to her, text number 150, Vajravasi yatra jane mata pita saka gana sabehaya mora prana sama tanra maye gopi gana sakshad mora jivana tumi more jivanera jivana. Sri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, father, cowherd boyfriends, and everything else are like my life and soul. And among the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. And among the gopis, you, Srimati Radharani, are the chief. Therefore, you are the very life of my life. Right? He is the Mora Jivana, Tumi Jivanera Jivana, the life of my life. Jivanera Jivana. Srimati Radharani, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srimati Radharani is the center of all Vrindavan's activities. In Vrindavan, Krishna is the instrument of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan still chant Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, from Krishna's own statement given herein. From Krishna's own statement given herein, it appears that Radharani is the queen of Vrindavan and that Krishna is simply her decoration. Krishna is known as Madan Mohan, the enchanter of Cupid, but Srimati Radharani is the enchanter of Krishna. Consequently, Srimati Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini, the enchanter of Cupid. Toma sabara prema rase ama ke karile vashe ami tomara adihina kevala. Toma sabba chatan nana amadora deshe lana rakiyache dordaiva prabhala. My dear Shrimati Radharani, I am always subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control only. My separation from you and residence in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. Priya Priya Sangahina Priya Priya Sangevina Nahi Jiye E Sacha Pramana Mora Dashe Shone Yabe Tare E Dashahabe E Baye Duhe Rak Ke Prana. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or a man is separated from his beloved women, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for each other. For if one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will die also. We've seen that this actually does happen sometimes. Se sacha prema vati premavan se pati viyoge yevanche priya hite. Nagane apana dukkha panche priya jana sukha se du mile archirate. Such a loving, chaste wife and loving husband desire all welfare for each other in separation and do not care for personal happiness. Desiring only each other's well-being, such a pair certainly meet again without delay. So this is the real meaning of love here, that love means caring for the other person, not just because it puts butterflies in my stomach or makes me feel euphoric. But real love is caring for the personal happiness of another without codependence. But so this is like a great example here. Rakite tomara jivana sevi ami narayana tanrasakje asti niti niti tomasane hridayakare nitiyas yadupuri tahatumi mahan manaha mora sporti. You are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayan. By his merciful potency, I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then return to Dwarka Dham. Thus you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. So it says Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So Krishna goes there, and of course, Srimati Radharani would be thinking, I must be hallucinating, I must be an illusion, but we see so much the power of the meditation on the Lord. Yeah, it's on. I might not. So, but still Krishna's saying, I go there. So we hear about his pastimes in Dwarka. So how he can slip away and go to Vrindavan? Well, he must come through an expansion. Well, he never leaves Vrindavan, so it's mysterious. So, Mora Bhagya 155. Mora Bhagya Mo Vishaye Tomara Ye Prema Haye Se Prema Parama Prabhala Lukana ane sange karayed, tomar sange prakatehe anibe satvara. This is very unusual that there's all double verses here, although they're one verse. All right, so Lord Krishna tells Srimati Radharani, our love affair is more powerful because of my good fortune in receiving Narayan's grace. This allows me to come there unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Wow, so Lord Krishna, the source of Narayan, is praying to Narayan for Srimati Radharani and the residents of Vrindavan that they won't die of separation and that their pain will be mitigated. So that's very interesting. So he's praying that that he can come and be seen. So purport: Krishna has two kinds of presence, prakat and aprakat, manifest and unmanifest. These are identical for the sincere devotee. Even if Krishna is not physically present, the devotee's constant absorption in the affairs of Krishna makes him always present. This is confirmed in the Pramasamhita 538. You can all chant together. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achincha guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Due to his intense love, the pure devotee always sees Lord Krishna present within his heart. All glories to Govinda, the primeval personality of Godhead. When Krishna is not manifest before the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they are always absorbed in thoughts of him. Therefore, even though at that time Krishna was living in Dwarka, he was simultaneously present before all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This was his aprakat presence. Devotees who are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna will soon see Krishna face to face without a doubt. In other words, devotees who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and are fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna certainly return home back to Godhead. They then see Krishna directly, face to face, talk with him, and enjoy his company. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4:9. Chaktva punar janma naitimam iti sorjuna. Because during his lifetime, a pure devotee is always speaking of Krishna and engaging in his service. As soon as he gives up his body, he immediately returns to Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna is personally present. He then meets Krishna directly. This is successful human life. This is the meaning of Prakateha Anibe Satvara. The pure devotee will soon see the personal manifestation of Lord Sri Krishna. Wow, what an invitation that Srila Prabhupada has given us in this purport. He's inviting us that, this is all you have to do. Easier said than done, but all you have to do is always be absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, always engaged in Krishna consciousness and in devotional service, and we get to go back to Godhead and directly see Krishna face to face. I like this one. You get to talk with Krishna. What would you say to him when you meet him? What are you going to say? Haribol. Oh, like like, what are we going to say? Like, I think it's one of the very most attractive qualities of Krishna is his speech, especially his joking, and how he jokes with, with Srimati Radharani, with the gopis, with the cowherd boys, and we will be laughing so much to hear Krishna's jokes. But we'll get to talk to him like a real person, like you know how very prominent people are kind of often unapproachable, like and many devotees become very nervous in the presence of their guru or something like that. But Krishna, we would feel so at home that we might just feel nervous in the beginning, then we wouldn't feel nervous anymore because we'd just be one of his many devotees, unlimited devotees. So like that. Now, it's like, so I just want to say, Lord Chaitanya is speaking all of this, and I didn't realize it was going to be all of this, the conversation between Radha and Krishna, because remember, he's speaking to Venkatabhatta, who was a diehard devotee for his whole life of Lakshmi Narayan. So how is it that Lord Chaitanya is speaking like this? Well, Lord Chaitanya, he wants to give him the highest, and what happened was Venkatabhatta came to accept it. He's there, yeah, you're right. You're right. Lord Krishna, he's the highest. I worship Lakshmi Narayan, but Lord Krishna, my goddess of fortune whom I worship, why she worships him? Because Krishna has qualities that Narayan doesn't have, especially 4 qualities that only Lord Krishna possesses. So who knows one of those qualities? Yes, wonderful pastimes. It says here, especially his childhood pastimes, because Narayan, you don't hear of baby Narayan too much. I mean, even when Devaki, Lord Vishnu came out with 4 hands, he came out like that. I mean, he appeared like that immediately. No little baby Narayan with little baby club, little baby disc and lotus. He's like majestic always. But only Lord Krishna appears, well, all of them. I mean, Lord Ram does too, but especially, baby Krishna is so attractive, right? Our whole Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, and the Krishna book, so many charming pastimes of Lord Krishna. And also, sometimes it says, as we read today, also his conjugal pastimes. Those are quite unique, right? Although Lord Narayan also, but Lord Narayan is married to Lakshmi Devi, not like Krishna's loving affairs as we're hearing with Srimati Radharani. This is very unique. So that's one. Krishna's, he's surrounded by loving devotees, just as we're reading. This, whereas others, like I was saying, how you would be nervous. So you might be nervous in the presence of Lord Narayan, and you would fold your hands and, and offer prayers to him. And but with Krishna, one is intimately connected as a friend, as a parent, as a lover, as even a servant. It's very, very personal, whereas one feels comfortable. So the first one, Krishna is surrounded by loving devotees, and that's so that includes. Oh yeah, that's the second one. First one is performer of wonderful pastimes. So he says here, the one devotee said, I know about Narayan, the husband of the goddess of fortune, And I also know about many other incarnations of the Lord. Certainly, all the pastimes of such incarnations are exciting to my mind, but still, the pastimes of the Rasa Leela performed by Lord Krishna himself are wonderfully increasing my transcendental pleasure. Jai. And then surrounded by loving devotees like that. And how there's so much, they feel so much separation just throughout the day, right? Mother Yashoda and Nanda, when Krishna goes out with his friends, feeling intense separation. And then later Krishna meets with the gopis. Then when he goes back with his cowherd friends, they are feeling separation. Then when they go home, all the boys go to their own homes. They're feeling so much separation. And then, and then so all throughout the day, there's union and separation, union and separation. So everyone lives for that union. Okay, two other qualities that only Krishna possesses. One of them is something he has that Narayan doesn't have. Right, Krishna has a flute, and Narayan doesn't carry a flute. And also the exquisite, although Narayan is very beautiful, but Krishna is most attractive. He's much more beautiful. Now, you see, I was reading before, like previous, one thing that really struck me, how Venkatabhatta, he said, okay, I see what you're saying. And now Venkatabhatta is hearing all of this, how much he's going to be attracted to Krishna. So by the potency of the Lord's preaching, and you know how difficult it is, like how to give up what one, especially he's elderly, older, Venkatabhatta, and how he's going to change his whole life's trajectory of devotion. How difficult that is. And there's other devotees too who gave up, like we Americans, we had a clean slate, we weren't worshiping. Many of us were Christian or Jewish and had some worship of the Lord, but very easy for us to accept Krishna. Whereas in India, Lord Shiva's worshipped even more. So many devotees of Lord Shiva, they had to give up. You never really give up. You still have some sentiment. You still have some, kind of relationship. But to switch to Krishna, it takes something. And like Krishna says, Sarva Dhammam Parichaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Pape Yo Mokshayishami Masuchaha. Just abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I will deliver you. Do not fear. Don't worry. I'm really going to do it. So you feel sometimes like you're betraying. Like, many of you know Nityananda Prabhu, was the temple president of Dallas, and now there's a second generation who's now a third generation, the president of Dallas. But he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and he was a lawyer, and he was hired to stop the devotees from creating disturbance. But Tamal Krishna Maharaj preached to him. He became a devotee, such a great devotee. But his father, living in the same house, would not talk to him for 1 year because he became a devotee of Krishna instead of a devotee of Shiva. So anyway, it really takes something, giving up what one is accustomed to their whole lifetime. So all glories to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Radha Golokananda Ki Jai. Thank you for your kind attention.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalayataksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Kriya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham
Page 74. Shesha Loka Provisha Nidrachari Utajiva Shesha Loka Provisha Nidrachari Utajiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Rama Krishna Hayagriva Shima Vamana Shimadusudana Rajendra Nandana Shama Bhutana Gatana Kaitaba Shatana Jaya Dasarati Rama Namaya Shoda Dulala Govinda Vrindavanapurandara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bara Ravana Takara Makana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Ravana Takara Makana Taskara Gopi Vajra Rakala Gopa Vrindapala Chita Hari Bamshidari Nirvana Yogindra Bandana Srinandanandana Raja Jana Bayahari Nandana Srinandanandana Ravina Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohana Bamsi Bihari Yashodanandana Kamsani Shudana Nikunjara Savilasi Nandana Kamsani Shudana Nikunjara Savilasi Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Brinda Vipina Nivasi Ananda Vardana Premaniketana Pulashara Jojaka Kama Gopangana Gana Chita Vinodana Samasta Guna Gana Dhamma